Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike and this is Basement Lettuce. In this video today we're doing a little kayak fishing, as well as later on we'll be on my John boat, and this is my little lifetime kayak I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. And today we're out here at Togus Pond. This is actually Lower Togus Pond, the southern end, just above the dam where it lets out. This pond is just a little bit outside of Augusta, and the day before, maybe 2 days before, I had been here bank fishing, and I was fishing the outlet from the dam, and I actually caught tiny little like 8-inch trout. So there was a lot of activity here, so I figured I would give it a little bit of a try.
Let's try it out here where I saw them jumping.
I paddled around for a little bit, and even in this little cove, which is right by the dam where I dropped in, I immediately got on some crappie. Unfortunately, my GoPro was having issues that day because it was the one day where it was 95 degrees out, and it kept turning off, so I didn't really get very much video of that kayaking trip. In fact, the best catch I was able to catch on video was this first cast when I got there from the bank. Yeah, unfortunately we lost everything else because it was so hot. But here's a little pickerel for you guys.
Oh, it's a pickerel. It's not as big as I thought it was. Oh, there he goes. Did he get away? Yep, he got away. Alright, so that's what was cutting me off. I thought it was something like that.
Okay, so that was that. It was a pretty good day, but unfortunately, as I said, we didn't get much footage. The next day, or I think 2 or 3 days later, I was here at Messalonskee Lake on my John boat, obviously. I've got the Newport NT300 electric engine on it.
Time to cast off.
And I didn't really have much of a plan. I'd been here about 2 weeks before and had done pretty well. There was quite a bite on, but the bass just weren't biting that day. I got a lot of sunfish and crappie, but I didn't get any bass, so I wanted to come back and give it another try. So here we are, scooting down the lake. It's a very narrow, long lake. It's really a section of Messalonskee stream that's been dammed, and so now it's just this little narrow lake. And here I've got open the app for the Power Queen battery, and you can see I didn't even start with a full battery, and we have about 5 hours of power here, even at around 50% throttle. So pretty good engine. I mean, if you throttle down even 25%, you know, that's gonna jump up to like almost 8 hours of battery time.
Turn this back on when we get somewhere.
So my basic plan of attack here is super simple. I just have a ultralight rod, 6-foot ultralight rod with a 2-pound fluorocarbon line and 1/200th ounce jig head, and that's a 2-inch gulp minnow on the end there. And I have a little bit of an idea. I mean, I have a little bit of experience on this lake. I've been here in my kayak and a couple of things, so I knew kind of what to look for, but just looking for laydowns, stuff like that, where the bass might be. In that very first cast, we had a follow up, and then this was the second cast right after. And I don't know if it was the same fish that went after it, but we got a fish right away.
Right off the bat. I knew that was gonna break the. Oh, buddy. Oh.
Not at all the biggest fish for this lake, and yeah, that's why I like to use the net. Usually, I need to get a slightly longer one. Mine is good for the kayak, but here in the boat, it can't quite reach.
Nice one. Oh.
But yeah, there are definitely larger fish in this lake.
That was a pretty good first cast. Pulled me so hard, he slammed me into the land. If I had known it was that big, I would have used my net. Holy cow.
So try here a little bit more,
I'm pretty sure
but there's pretty much just a lot of sunfish and that one bass. And my general strategy for the day, because it was so windy out, was to try to hide up against the shore where it wasn't as windy, and to kind of use the wind to move up and down the shore with a little bit of engine intervention here and there. And you can see getting some more dinks here. There was quite a bit of a bite on, but it was hard. I tried to sight fish some really largemouth that I saw. I don't know if they were getting spooked because they could see me, even though it was pretty far away in the boat. But the water is very, very clear. It's not actually like muddy like it looks like. That's actually, you can see straight to the bottom, and then where it's darker, that's like where the algae is. So it's a very clear lake, so they can see you really easily. And it's a relatively popular lake, so those larger fish are a little wily, but they're definitely in there. Especially if you look around in the shallows under the lily pads, they like to hide under there. And yeah, I was pretty much just aiming for any of these, any bits of structure, which of course these docks and boats create. But if you see like past the boat in that bay area, in that like shallow area, that's kind of where the largemouth like to hang out. But I don't know if it's because this is a popular lake or what, but they were not interested. There were definitely some nice big largemouth, but they would nip at the lure, but that was about it. So we moved spots again here, and this is just behind a little island, and you can see I'm aiming just for that tree. And this is the first cast right when we got here. And again, got another bass. They, or again, you know, getting the bite and then getting them here on the second time around, just like that first one. So yeah, they were definitely out there biting. It's just kind of hard to get the big ones to take it.
Alright, here we go. Who knows if that's as good as the one that I missed, but it's the one we got. Off he goes.
And then another nice little bass here. This is actually,
there we go.
That tree that we were just on is just behind me, basically. So they were kind of loaded up here, up against the the shoreline, in between these docks and stuff.
I got another one.
And there was a ton of sunfish, a ton of red breast, as usual, as you'd expect.
Try a couple more times, and we'll move spots. Or red breast nibbles. And he's too small. There we go. Oh, it's just a little. You guys, you hit it so hard. Keep thinking maybe you're a small bass at least. so freaking small. Oh, there's some fish
Lots
here.
and lots of little sunfish, little dinks. But yeah, just trying to work any structure that I can find, any shade lines, any place where it goes from dark to light because of the algae or the vegetation. Shooting in the shallows a lot for the lily pads. Moving to one last final spot here, all the way back towards the boat ramp. So passing everyone's fancy house here. But this one here is probably the highlight of the day. It was probably a 2+ pound, probably not a 3 pound smallie. I unfortunately didn't realize I wasn't recording, but there's like a little shallow area here. You can see that flamingo on the left there. That's marking it, and there's a buoy marking it.
Where's it going?
But it's extremely shallow in this little rise. On one side it rises up very gradually, and then on the other side there's a big drop, and that's usually where they're at. And here I am trying not to bang into those shallows. Doing my best.
Jeez.
But yeah, this was definitely the best fish of the day. Filled that net pretty good. If I had my cooler, this would have been the candidate for sure.
Look at the actual size of this fucking fish.
And you can kind of see there in the background all the rocks in the shallows.
Oh.
But anyway, off Mr. Bass goes. Back to Bassum.
That was a big one. Alright, let's try that.
So I decided to come around on the drop side. So this is, like I was saying, the other side is where it raises up gradually. This side it's very deep, and then there's like a cliff, and that's kind of where I had gotten him. So I was trying again and got a bite there, but couldn't get on. I don't know if it was maybe another red breast or what was going on there.
What that was. Something heavy was on there.
But yeah, you can see the buoy on the right and then the flamingo on the left, and there's a bunch of rocks under there. You want to watch out when you see stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't able to get any more off of those rocks, which was a little unusual, but I got this last little bass over here to round out the day on Messalonskee, the lake part of the stream. Not a bad lake, very popular, so at certain times it can be, well, at least for Maine it's popular, but coming from Texas, it's definitely nothing. There's some like people on wakeboards and tubes and stuff, but it's nothing.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy the videos. If you want to see more silly stuff like this, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.